Hi, everyone. So we are going to be demoing one of our signature dishes from the good kind. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about, she said some, but about kind of our food philosophy is trying to, provide, when I started the catering company, which was 8 years ago when I moved here from New York, we definitely focus on like farm to table, healthy, fresh food, which I was, part of that scene before it was such a scene. And through the catering and clients, I decided I wanted to open something that we could multiply and that would make our food accessible to more people than just people having fancy parties. So we open, our cafe is part of the bottling department. It's the food hall at Pearl. We are one of the 5 concepts in there. This dish that we're making today is our soba noodle salad, and then I'm making 2 dressings. When they asked me to do a cooking demo a few days ago, I was like, I'll do a cooking demo, but I'm not cooking, it's too hot. So this salad is one of my favorite dishes. I eat it for lunch probably 3 to 4 times a week. It's just really like light and fresh and lots of veggies, and we make all of our dressings and all of our sauces from scratch. So I'm going to show you how to make 2 of those, so you're not trying to recreate this slaving over a stove. So it starts out with the soba noodles. If anyone's unfamiliar, they're noodles, Asian noodles made with buckwheat instead of wheat flour, so they have a lot more fiber and minerals and nutrients in them. I was going to demo cooking them, but I thought, you know what, if they can't boil water and put a noodle in, they probably aren't going to make this dish. So the noodles are already cooked. And I wanted to introduce you. So Javier Ruiz is our head chef and my director of culinary operations. I don't actually spend a ton of time in the kitchen anymore because now the business has grown and we're doing, we do really big events and galas and catering. So now I'm kind of more running a company. So Javi came on board about 1.5 years ago. And he is like the master knife skills person. So he's also mic'd. I'm going to start out with one of the dressings, and then I'm going to hand it over to him to give you some pointers on knife skills and what he's doing. He's using a mandolin right now, if nobody's familiar with that. Really easy to cut your fingernails off if you want to trim. Oh wait, this is not reaching. Is there anyone out there that can help me? Oh wait, okay. Sorry. Okay, let me make sure this works. Yeah. So the first dressing I'm going to demo is called Hollyhock. It's probably our most popular dressing. It's a recreation of I grew up in super hippie land in the west coast of British Columbia in a dome. So most of the things I ate as a child were not probably what anyone from Texas ate as a child. And that's why too, when I moved here, I'm like, hey, I want to bring, fresher, let's face it, most people's comfort food here is Tex-Mex, barbecue, Southern comfort food. And I was actually a private chef and a nutritional counselor for a long time before I started this company. And so a lot of the things I make, it's also about, using cold pressed oils and trying to include enough vegetables and nutrient-rich foods that aren't like preachy in your face health foods. It's just like it happens to be good for you, but it also tastes awesome. And we will have samples at the end of this. So stick around. Okay, so this is called Hollyhock. It's a rework of a dressing that was invented on this like hippie drum circle farm in British Columbia. And I kind of changed it up a bit, but this is the name of the farm, is called Hollyhock. It's like it's a retreat center. First off, in here, 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar and 1/3 of water. And it's so easy, and when you taste it, you'll be like, and it's so delicious. 1/3 cup, this is tamari, if no one knows what tamari is. It's like a soy sauce, but better for you. More amino acids. and tamari. And then a half a cup of nutritional yeast. If anyone doesn't know what this is, you didn't grow up with hippies. Because they put this on everything. I'm always like, oh, yay, popcorn. And I'd be like, I just want butter. What's that? So it has a lot of immune building. It has tons of vitamin B. So it has like it does. And when you taste the dressing, you'll be like, okay, I can handle it. When people ask what's in the dressing, I'm like, it's really good. You should try it. Because when I say nutritional yeast, they're like, it's good. So nutritional yeast. A half a cup. Sorry, I don't have any water to rinse things, so this is not going to be. There we go. This is what it looks like. Yellow, flaky. You can see why the hippies would think, I'll put this on instead of butter. Okay. And then a cup and a half of grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil, if you buy, sorry if I'm being all lectury about health, but that's what I do. You know, in your oils, very important to get like cold pressed, high quality oils, which are a lot more expensive than crappy oils, but it makes a huge difference to the flavor of things and to your body. So this, we use very high quality oils. And the thing with grapeseed oil is that it has a much lighter taste. So if you're making if you put olive oil in something, it's like you have to be prepared that everything, the flavor profile surrounding that needs to make sense with that. Hence, grapeseed oil in this dressing. So, and then we just, I'm stuck to the power cord. It won't actually stay on. And then you just mix it up. You can use a blender. Vitamixes are awesome. If anyone doesn't have one, though, you can use a blender. Quite honestly, you could even just do it whisking in a bowl. It would still work. But it's nice to get it incorporated properly. And I think that's it. So I am going to put this in a vessel. My eye's trying to see if it's going to fit in there.
Got it?
Oh, yeah, okay. Just the last drop. And then there was some nice person when I got here that said they were going to take this and rinse it. Do you know where to go? You know what? I know where to go. So I am going to turn the stage over to, do you know where to go? You know where to go. So we just need it rinsed out. It doesn't need to be like soapy. I am now going to move over to Javier, who in this salad, you really can put any sort of mix of vegetables. We have it pretty down to like our favorites. And it really is, I think in any dish, it's about your knife cuts. Like, some people's how you go to dinner and you're just kind of like, it's not that attractive. I'm really like, I'm pretty sure that what you look at makes a difference. You're like, oh, when I moved here, the amount of people that told me that, like, I do love vegetables of all kinds, other than mushrooms. I don't like them. But all vegetables, but I think too, because we grew our own vegetables, my mom was a great cook, and so when people tell me, oh, I hate blah, blah, beets are a big one here. And then I'm like, oh, because you ate like 2-hour boiled beets your whole life. No wonder you hate them. Or canned beets. Right, or canned, like, yeah, so canned, boiled, like, no. Now I get it. I used to, there was some friend of mine after a couple years of catering here, and I use beets a lot, raw, steamed, lots of versions of them, and slowly people started being turned on. And then I remember someone said, oh, Tim, the girl who brought beets to San Antonio. So, in here, no beats in this. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Javi.
I don't know if I'm mic'd.
You're mic'd. Oh, can you turn his mic on?
Hello?
There we go.
Hi, guys.
You don't have to go down at it if you don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just looking at what I'm cutting. So what I did with the watermelon radish, I don't know if you guys are familiar with watermelon radish. This is what it looks like. And once you peel it, it has really nice color to it. Tastes about the same. Gives it a little extra flair. And what I did is after I peeled it, I sliced it really thin on the mandolin so that everything is exactly the same. And then when I come back to cut it, I usually just stack them up like poker chips. And then just cut them really, really thin like.
Sorry.
Almost like a matchstick or a julienne. So you have these nice little colorful strips. And I also did it the same way with the peppers. What I did is I just kind of cleaned it, saved whatever I had left for like stock or whatever. And then I just cut them really nice and thinly at a bias almost, so that it has a lot of color. And like she was talking about, most people will just put it, a snap pea in or whatever. But once you cut it on a bias, I don't know if you guys can see, but it'll show you like
you actually see the inside
and stuff like that. So it just gives it a better look. And people eat with their eyes first. Wow, that looks good. And that's how people just kind of choose what they want to eat, I guess you could say. And to cut the cabbage really, really thinly, I just put the mandolin very, very, barely open so that when you cut it, it comes out really pillowy, light, and easier to eat, and it doesn't feel so heavy. And we just mix it all up together. And all those colors will start popping in there.
So yeah, like I was saying, you can use, so we do red, we do purple and green cabbage, tricolored peppers, a little red onion, snap peas. Some edamame works well. So you can kind of use whatever sort of mixture that you want. I wanted to talk a little bit, and then we put fresh herbs on it, cilantro, sometimes basil. I wanted to talk a little bit about these babies. Sunflower sprouts. So we use, I really do believe that, well, it's true. So the amount of nutrients in something that is just sprouting is far richer in nutrients than once something gets big. So because I know it sounds like kind of hippie-ish, but it's like just the beginning of its life. So something is sprouting, a ton of energy is going into that getting the seed to grow. So we like to use a lot of things like this. If any of you are from San Antonio, these are from, the favorite place I have found is Freshwater Farms. I forget where their farm is, but they sell at the farmer's market at Pearl. And they have a beautiful assortment of sprouts. They have sunflower, they have arugula, they have this Italian mix that's like radish and mustard and garlic sprouts. And so today we'll be putting some of these in. I need to get these washed somehow. So I think that I will do the next dressing. Javi, do you think you could cut these off for her and then she could go rinse them?
Yeah.
I don't want to give you grainy salad at the end. Do you have a little bowl for her?
Yeah.
Just use your knife and hack them. So yeah, that's what you do when you buy sprouts like that. You just kind of it's like, I think of it as hairdressing, because sometimes I'll buy a big flat of them.
Yeah.
And they will actually also keep growing. Not the sprout you cut off, but lots of times there's little seeds in it that haven't grown yet. So you can just kind of hairdress, trim it, and then let it keep growing. So on to the second dressing we're going to make. is our carrot ginger dressing. So at The Good Kind, our kind of, because I spent so long as a private chef and dealing with people's, as I say, eating disorders, which is such, so I host culinary trips in Italy every summer with groups of women from all over the world, and I work there for about a month every year. I just got back 2 days ago, that's why I'm a bit out of it. And there's this whole thing that is so American. Like, the Italians are always like, what is wrong with these people? Like, do you think that you ever go out for dinner nowadays with, like, let's say 8 of your friends and everyone just eats anything? Basically doesn't exist in America anymore. So because I'm so well versed in this, I decided that we would set up our menu. So everything is just like the basic bowl, and then you add stuff. And then we make all our own dressings so that when people have all their, anyone can come and eat and find something. Vegetarians, vegans, people doing keto, like, we're not only vegetarian, this dish is, but all of the meats are like as an addition. Grass-fed meatballs, chicken, bacon even. I see people walk by and they'll be like, oh, there's that vegetarian place. I'm like, come over here. But that being said, the dressings are kind of the key thing. So we have 5. We used to have 9. It was a little much for us for food costs and keeping up with it. But so we have 5 main, our most, the dressings people bought the most and chose the most. And these are the 2 most popular. So I will go on with making this second one. So this one has rice wine vinegar, which is, sorry, I need my scale, which is, yes, working. Okay, so rice wine vinegar and carrots. Javi, can you come help me for a minute? See, I'm totally useless without him. 16 ounces.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, you already did it. See?
Thank you.
That's why he's my favorite. Carrots. Important to chop them up pretty small because your machine will get worn out when you just put
Or you could
big
grate
hunks.
them if you
Or
like.
grate them. And next up, 4 tablespoons of garlic. We'll call this, I'm going to call this 4 tablespoons. I'm not a big measure. I do have it written down properly. I don't follow it. And then 2 ounces of ginger. Ginger, I'm sure everyone knows what that is. And, wow, okay.
Should be a spoon.
And then,
Let me get a spoon. So a little trick is
there you go.
taking a spoon and it just peels the skin right off. That way you don't waste too much of it.
Because if you have ever tried to like nicely peel a piece of ginger, you really end up with this like, oh, you didn't leave, you moved. You end up with just not very much left, right? You use a little paring knife or a peeler, and it has so many little nubs on it that you end up wasting a lot of it. When I make this at home, I just leave the skin on, but hubby's a little more proper than me.
There you go.
But I leave the skin on pretty much everything. I'm like, why would you peel a potato? The nutrients are in the skin. So ginger, I will continue as he does this. 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. And important that the sesame oil is toasted. So, right, when you go to buy sesame oil at the grocery store, there'll be a clear one. That means that it's not toasted, which technically oils that are not toasted have more health benefits in them, but sometimes you need flavor. And again, important, I just can't stress the importance of spending your money. Anyone I've ever done, like I used to go into people's kitchens and like rework their whole pantry and teach them how to shop and talk to them about nutrition and health. And like my number one thing, if you're, the things most important to spend money on are good oils and organic dairy. Number one most important things, like any animal, like where it stores any kind of toxins is like in fat cells, which is what makes milk. So like those are your two most important things. So buy the good oils, buy the good dairy. And then we do just like a teaspoon of harissa. Spicy. Huh? Harissa?
Harissa. It's
Harissa.
a pepper paste.
I'm Canadian, my vowels sound weird. It's like a Middle Eastern hot sauce. So like we would want salsa, they would have harissa on every table. Yeah. Okay. I'm realizing now how useless I've become. I just look at him, I'm like, did I do what? I spend my life doing like marketing and cash flow projections. So if anyone thinks the glamour of like having a business. Okay. And if you don't have a Vitamix and you get one, I can give you some little pointers that you can't ever start it off at full blast because it just like does not work. So it has this little knob that slowly goes up and you want to like slowly increase it. Some things you try to do just never work. That's why they sell it with the thing that smashes it down, like I wish I had right now. So then before you mess around with it, turn it off. I've had many things I've been making where I'm like, uh-oh, there's half a wooden spoon now in the recipe. Which is pretty much impossible to pick out. I've figured out. What is happening? I can't get it to turn on. I can only get pulse on. Okay, well I'm gonna hold this and you.
Go ahead.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna have a spatula for our dressing. Here, let's smush it around again. So, Javi, where are you at as far as veggies?
I'm just
Pretty
adding
good?
the cilantro.
And then cilantro? Okay. This is usually not this hard. It's not liking us right now. I don't know. Oh, there we go. I know. Here. Oh, I forgot all the oil. That's why it's doing it. That's hilarious. So I forgot all the oil is why it was doing that. After you get it pretty much ground up, you will add your oil. Because that should let it actually do its business. And I'm going to add a little water. Also, this Vitamix is now possessed and won't turn off. Or I'm super scared of this machine right now. Okay, so we need to get that to go down. I'm really trying to not have it eat the plastic. Does anyone know how to help me? Unplug it?
There, I got it.
But it doesn't turn off either.
It does.
Or on.
It's on.
No, I know, but off so that I can mix it around. Like it's permanent on.
Yeah, just unplug it.
It's not usually this hard.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, you can add a bit more oil to the rest of that grapeseed. All of it's fine. Right, but it is weird the machine won't turn off without unplugging it. That's not usual.
That is not usual.
Okay, I'm gonna plug it back in.
Okay.
Here we go.
But you know what? In the old days, we didn't even have machines. We had to chew it up and spit it out.
I don't know why it's doing that, but you just pulse it.
What's that?
You just pulse it.
I think it seems fine. Don't you? Okay, so when that doesn't happen, it's easy. But it is, this is why, look, this is showing you why it's so important to fine dice all of your carrots first. Vitamixes don't love, between the ginger root and the carrots, it sometimes fights back. But I'm gonna start, if you get the cilantro done, and then I can start dishing up some, whoever wants to try it. And in the meantime, does anyone have any questions? Nobody, wow, okay. I like that, smart crew. Pardon me, yes, our website is up there. So that is our website for our catering company. And then which is timthegirl.com. So yes, my name is Tim and it's my whole name and my parents named me Tim. T-I-M, like a boy's name. Most time I do any speaking engagement, my first slide is my birth certificate. So I'm like, we don't have to talk about that anymore. And I wasn't meant to be a boy, and they didn't do it by mistake. Like, they really meant to name me Tim, and they knew I was a girl. I was named after this, like, very avant-garde hippie woman from England whose nickname was Tim. And when they met her, they were like, she's so awesome. We don't care, this is a boy's name. We're naming our first daughter Tim. So that was my luck. I was 3 when she died, and they found out that her real name was Gertrude, so I probably got off easy. Not that I actually kind of like that name, but I always joke that my nickname is Gertie, and people are like, how do you get that from Tim? I'm like, it's a long story. So that website, so timthegirl.com is our catering website, and Eat Good Kind is our restaurant website. Which that was a whole, like I worked on that concept for a couple of years, the Good Kind concept, because I wanted to create something that was, again, more available to the general public, could go and get it without having a party. Also, I wanted something that, like, in the future, like I branded it to be able to, you know, to make it scalable. And I wanted something that wasn't so attached to me. But our catering company, they do about equal business. But we now just, you know, about a year ago branched in. We used to do more, you know, upscale private parties, but now we do like lots of weddings, galas, any kind of catering. So please, you know, pass the word along and come to the food hall. So I'm gonna start making some samples. How many people want a sample? I don't want to make more than want to eat it. Okay, cool. So most of you. Cool. So do we have another bowl? Because I feel like this might be, I don't want to make more than they'll eat. So for, I'm going to, when I eat this salad, which like I said is about 3 to 4 times a week for lunch, I put both these dressings on it. So I think I'll put a little of each for you. Is that a good, then will you know really the difference? I still think I'm going to. Too bad. Okay, so you get these cute little, this is another part of our company. We use all eco, the highest quality eco disposable that you can. So I'm gonna mix, what I'm gonna do is put a little of the hollyhock, mix it in with the noodles, to make that kind of the base flavor of the noodle. The noodles, the brand No, oh, sorry, so buckwheat noodles. Yeah. It needs a little more, I think I mismeasured things, but it's totally too yeasty. Okay. Definitely needs more of this. All right, those little dishes. We have cilantro and sprouts. Okay, do you want to lay some of those out for me?
Yeah.
Or move the dressing?
Are you a vegetarian?
Oh,
For the most part.
for the most part, no. I'm a closeted vegetarian. I moved to Texas. I'm like, oh my God, I can't let anyone know that I'm a vegetarian or no one will hire me. I taste and I will eat meat, but I'm pretty particular. Like I won't just like go to any restaurant and order meat. I'm very picky about the type of meat. So that being said, I mostly don't eat it if I make it. And really like beef and pork, it's just not, I'm far more inclined to eat vegetables and seafood is my preferred diet for sure. Which is why when I'm in, you know, anywhere on the Mediterranean, I'm always like, ugh. Like I just pretty much eat like fish stew for every single meal. And I'm super happy. Okay, I will top these and then I'm gonna put carrot ginger on there.
Then there's cilantro sprouts.
Here, I'm gonna bring it over
A little bit of
here.
watermelon.
Oh, did that?
You can use.
Why does it not have mirin in it? We just stopped doing it?
It's not in that recipe.
Weird, I have to go take a look at things. This is what I get for that I don't measure. I have to taste it after. I'm like, wait a minute, it needs a little more of this. Okay, so we'll adjust that. I think let's do a little, like a decent amount on there. And then, look at that. I'm gonna make a few and then you guys can come up and, oh, you've already got those ones going. Where are the noodles? Oh, here, sorry. I'm gonna stop pretending to help you.
That's fine.
Oh wait, look, I can do this part. And if some of you want to come up and grab one, you're welcome to. Oh, we need little, some people need to, they can come up. If they're too scared to come up here, then they don't get any.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Oh wait, yeah, you got carrot on there. There you are.
Now we all take it too fast.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
The best thing about this
You
salad
go.
is it's really fresh and it's not very heavy. And you can eat a lot
And
of
it does fill you up though. I mean, the buckwheat has like, you know, substantial, it's got some power in there. And when you come to the good kind, people, you can like add meat. It's awesome with chicken on it. A lot of people like, so we have, you know, avocado, grass-fed meatballs, chicken, all of that is, you know, you pay to add it on, but people come up with all kinds of creations, exactly. I definitely have my, like, people like, oh, I want this with this. Because our main dish is a market bowl, which is just changes constantly with what veggies we put on it. And then you choose your dressing, and then you choose your add-ons. So that we didn't have to listen to all of people's eating things. They can just make their own bowl. But I have my preference of what goes with what, but some people like to make crazy stuff.
Did you put any of this dressing?
Yes. So that dressing is already in the noodles. I tossed the hollyhock into the noodles, and then I'm putting carrot ginger on the top. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I've been chintzing you guys on the watermelon radishes. There you are. Oh, forks, did you grab? Yeah, you did, okay. There you go, enjoy.
About some feta cheese on
Oh yeah, that'd be good too.
People do that. Yeah.
That's available.
That's
there
an
too.
option as an add-on at the good kind.
Feta cheese is good, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And there you are. Oh, thank you. Come and have more, please. We're not carrying this home. There you are. There you are.
Yes.
Yeah. But it does have a little bit of wheat. If you're like gluten, if
It's
it's
not
not gluten free,
completely
it's not
gluten-free.
completely gluten free. So they do make buckwheat noodles that are completely gluten free, but you have to eat them immediately. They can't sit at all. So ours is like, it's like 30% wheat. So it's impossible for us to work with the other ones because buckwheat doesn't have enough gluten, obviously, to like hold together. Yeah. And tamari isn't gluten free either.
Although you can get gluten-free tamari.
You can. Yeah,
Because
you can. It's just.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Okay. You're so welcome.
What do you guys think of that?
Okay, so we'll run through these little guys and then. Anyone else? Sound guy? Want one? Someone can bring you one, I'm sure. I know your name isn't Sound Guy, but I don't know your name. I've called people worse.
Yes, yes.
There's a few more up here if anyone wants another one. We're just kind of running through our dishes and noodles to not be wasteful.
Everybody's happily eating.
What's that?
Everybody's happily eating. I will join them.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Camera guy, you want one?
Awesome.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Hey, Texas disposal system dudes, you want any? What else can I read? They're looking really kind of trepidatious. Please. You're so welcome. Enjoy. Okay, look at that. Texas Disposal Systems came up. You're so welcome.
Yeah, that's the one thing about this dish is it's really colorful and it pops on a
It's
plate.
very Insta. I know Jessica well. Yes, she's photographed my food a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're so welcome. Bye. Okay, so that's it, folks. That's all she wrote.